The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to another edition of TV1 News. I am Rex Lita.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Join me later for sports.
In this edition, PNG to participate in World Court proceedings. Fashion show explodes with vibrant colors and design. And Fitla backs Dimitrio as Kumul's coach. Papua New Guinea, for the first time, will participate in the International Court of Justice proceedings in the Netherlands on the 2nd of December 2024. The proceedings will run for 2 weeks.
The Papua New Guinea government, through the Office of the Minister for Justice and Attorney General, has announced to participate in the International Court of Justice, or ICJ, proceedings that will take place on the 2nd of December 2024 in Netherlands. When making a formal announcement to the media this morning at the West New Britain House in Port Moresby, Minister for Justice Pila Niningi said PNG's participation in the ICJ process will give voice to the challenges faced by the Pacific Island nations.
This significant development aligns with the firm position PNG has taken in dealing with environmental heritage and its essential battle against climate change over the years.
Niningi said as a country reliant on its natural ecosystem for survival, PNG stands at the forefront of global efforts to safeguard biodiversity, mitigate climate impacts, and protect vulnerable communities. PNG will advocate for equitable climate responsibilities, highlighting the urgent need for support from industrialized nations with larger carbon footprints. This submission reflects the government call for a unified global response to preserve forest and combat climate change when addressing the UN General Assembly 79th session recently.
PNG remains committed to playing a leading role in the international efforts to address climate change.
Meanwhile, the Secretary for DGIC, Dr. Eric Kua, said Papua New Guinea's participation in these proceedings will prepare the country to represent itself when defending PNG on various cases that come before the ICJ in the future.
Court cases we've filed, we also want to represent the country ourselves, so we can be able to build capacity, we can be also able to create an experience for our own people, that in the future we can also even appear ourselves to defend Papua New Guinea on various other matters that will come before the International Court of Justice.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape has congratulated Prabowo Subianto on his inauguration as the 8th President of Indonesia. This historic event took place at the Parliamentary Complex in Jakarta, attended by regional and global leaders, including Prime Minister James Marape. Pacific leaders from Australia, New Zealand, PNG, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu attended the inauguration of President Subianto over the weekend. President Subianto assumes leadership of the world's third largest democracy alongside Vice President Gibran Rabakuming, marking the start of the 5-year term. The leadership transition represents a new era for Indonesia and its role in the global and regional arena. Prime Minister James Marape represented PNG and the ceremony, underscoring the deepening ties between the two nations as both countries seek to expand cooperation beyond traditional areas of focus. World Anesthesia Day 2024 was observed recently at the Port Moresby General Hospital and led by the Anesthesia and Intensive Care Department.
Tireless efforts behind the Operation Theatre Curtains, saving lives should give all Papua New Guineans more reason to celebrate World Anesthesia Day, which falls on the 16th of October. According to the National Institute of General Medical Sciences, anesthesia prevents the feeling of pain by stopping nerves from passing signals to the brain. The Anesthesia and Intensive Care Department under Port Moresby General Hospital is an instrumental unit in the hospital that plays a pivotal role in ensuring quality perioperative patient care is provided for all patients who require the service. Chief Anesthetist at PMGH, Dr. Nora Dai, gave an insight on how many patients are received in the hospital that go through anesthesia.
Team Anesthesia across Papua New Guinea provides anesthesia at about 35,000 cases. That's across all of the PHAs across the country. And in those numbers of 35,000 approximately, over 8,000 cases are done here at the Port Moresby General Hospital. So you can see that we here in this hospital here, we are providing about 1/4 or 25% of the total anesthetics delivered across the country. In that 1/4, in that 8,000 plus cases, we're delivering this to a population of approximately 2 million.
The theme for this year's celebration is workforce well-being, which is relevant to the PMGH workforce and health workers who serve under challenging conditions.
We saw that the gap in the anesthesia was quite huge. We had like 40 surgeons and only like 8 anesthetists.
Representative of psychology and social workers were also present and had activities for spiritual well-being and physical well-being on the day. Jasmine Rujak, TVWAN News.
Director Medical Services Dr. Kone Sobi commended the hard work of doctors and nurses in the Anesthesia and Intensive Care Department who work tirelessly behind the theatre curtains in saving lives.
Saving lives is something that money can buy. So I really commend everyone. And those who support you, behind all the anesthetists, we have, surgeons, we have theatre nurses, we have technicians and all cadres of healthcare workers that come together to make anesthetic as a team. It's a teamwork. Healthcare is really a teamwork, and we need to show that compassion, the love, the care for our patients. They will be our ambassadors. They will be our advocates for what we do in those places.
Construction of the National Canoe and Kundu Festival Village in Alotau is progressing well and is expected to be completed by next Wednesday ahead of the November 1st to 3rd event. Workers from nearby villages, local youth and inmates from Gili Gili Jail are building shelters using sago threads and timbers. Festival Chairman Habona Tasman has addressed challenges including limited time and resources, but remains focused on reviving the event after a 4-year break. In response to critics on social media, Tasman urged them to support the festival with constructive participation. Traditional canoes and dancers from various islands will showcase authentic cultures, performances during the festival. You're watching TV1 News. When we come back, police calls for Vagrancy Act and 250 megawatts of power needed.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Laga, Bunyamyumi.
Open nets.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like it more.
Superstition ain't the way.
Welcome back. The Don Bosco Global Youth Film Festival took place on Saturday, October 19, 2024, at the Paradise Cinema, Vision City, Port Moresby. Its theme, I Have a Dream, Youth and Climate Change, PGS provincial religious students, media personnel, invited guests and friends who gathered to watch and reflect on films that encourage young people to consider their role in addressing environmental challenges and invite policy change at the level of government. Father Gildacio Mendes, Father Harris Pakam, and the social communication team worked hard to offer a platform for young people to dedicate to discover and nurture the creative talents of young filmmakers from across the globe. The festival aims to inspire and empower youth in the field of media while promoting social responsibility. Several students expressed their desire to share the content with students from different schools, while others wish to collaborate and harness the talent and potential of young people. The Lava Girl Explosion Fashion Show 2024 was an explosion of vibrant colors and designs over the weekend. Although only the second year of the fashion show, Lava Girl has made strides and is sure it was worth the money and time.
Many people turned up and were blown away by the extravagant outfits and fashion design at the Lava Girl Explosion Fashion Show 2024. Marking 10 years of the Lava Girl brand, under its store Mako Gifts, the LGX show was a way of celebrating and commemorating Lava Girl's service to Papua New Guinea with PNG-inspired clothing and jewelry from all around the country. Leading the fashion show, founder and fashion designer for Mako Gifts, Annette Sete, emphasized the importance of every collection and how much it means to her brand and organization.
want to be able to entertain people as well on the night. So it's not just showing them a bunch of clothes, on models. It's also for people to appreciate Papua New Guinea creativity in some way, shape or form.
10 collections with an overall 140 outfits were showcased on the runway. Collections began with Origin, Tabo, Coconuts, Croc and Leather, Walk Amongst the Mask, and many others.
I'm feeling sexy and free, like glitters raining on me.
One collection called Showtime was a playful collection showcasing Lava Girl's fun times, reminiscing on the years 2017 to 2018 when the business got into fashion shows. The fashion show came out with an explosion of various genres of clothes that can be worn for any occasion. Sete shared that her aim for this year is to focus more on different hairstyles, and that is exactly what she did.
10 years ago, I wanted to start a small business that could support my family. And then fast forward 10 years later, we have 75 families that we are supporting. It also adds a bit of pressure and responsibility on my part as, founder, director, CEO, whatever title you want to call. But you feel that, every day I have to perform, I have to get out there, push the brand, push the sales in order to be able to feed all these families that have kind of not only come on for a job, but also share in the dream that I have.
The LGX show is set to be the brand for all Lava Girl shows and will be an annual event moving forward. Jasmine Irojak, TVWAN News.
Leading up to the Lava Girl Explosion Fashion Show 2024, a designer competition was held to give emerging fashion designers a chance to participate by showcasing an outfit created with a Lava Girl designed fabric. Heza Zuman was one of 10 winners. Was privileged to have had her design modeled on the runway. She drew inspiration from her mother, who depended on her sewing for an income. Heza began sewing when she was in the fifth grade.
I am so excited. It's such a privilege to be part of this event or show. It was like my dream come true. Since I started sewing and all that, I wanted to become one of the designers. I've tried some other competitions but didn't make it through. So I just tried out for Lava Girl and so I just got selected to be the winner. Since our father lost his job, our mom used to sew to look after us. So that was the time where I started to, it motivates me to do a lot of sewing. Started in grade 5. I'm looking forward to registered my small SME, sewing SME, so I can do a lot of it.
And now we take a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2540 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2465 US, $0.364 Australian dollars, $0.2192 euro, and 36.54 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, and copra closed higher. The rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TV1 News. We'll have news making headlines abroad. When we return, stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Harem talk, young or old, a scale rice family meal with talk will bring out the smiles, cause it's a favorite by miles. Seni sigolo, scale rice, low scale price. Seni sigolo, scale rice, low scale price. But you like him?
Hiya, Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add your kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, or maybe not.
Bing bang bing. Bum, bum. In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 26 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Welcome back. The Pacific Island nation of Samoa has begun hosting perhaps the biggest event in its history. The Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting has kicked off in the capital, Apia, bringing together 3 monarchs, dozens of leaders and more than 4,000 delegates. It's the first time a Pacific Island nation has ever hosted the event, and the government has poured enormous resources into trying to make it a success.
Significant event for Samoa, and an enormous amount of effort really has been poured into making it a success. As you mentioned, the numbers here are huge. You've got not just the 3 monarchs, but 56 member countries of the Commonwealth. Many of those are sending leaders. On top of that, some 4,000 delegates also flooding into Apia, which is not a very big place. All of that is putting a pretty considerable strain on Samoa and its government, but it's a task that they're really embracing with quite a bit of relish, and they've got a bit of support. So, for example, the government's bringing in a massive cruise ship which is docked not far from where I'm standing right here in central Apia, which can house some of those delegates because the hotels are all overflowing. You've also got the fact that you've got a number of Pacific countries, 10 or so in total, who are actually sending additional police here to Apia to help with security. And on top of that, when you leave the capital and go out into the villages, you really do get a sense of a country that's pouring every effort into this event. So every single one of those 56 member countries has been assigned a village. That village is then decked out in the flags of that country, and the delegation from that country is very gently encouraged to actually go and visit to try and get a sense of Samoan hospitality. So this is a big deal for Samoa, and you really do get a sense of not just the government but many people here in Apia and more broadly throwing their shoulder to the wheel. But when you talk to locals about that argument, they're not that interested in it. They say no matter what the merits of CHOGM may or may not be, the main thing they're excited about is the opportunity to really amplify Samoa's voice, including on the international stage. And unsurprisingly, many people here are keen to talk about issues that are important to them. And of course, on top of that list is climate change. Samoa, like many Pacific Island nations, is deeply anxious about the threats posed by climate change, sees it as an existential risk, and they hope that with all the TV cameras, leaders, media here in Apia, they'll have an opportunity to really amplify that message. Of course, that doesn't mean that questions over the Commonwealth's legacy are irrelevant. Just for example, we're going to get a new Secretary General of the Commonwealth elected later this week, and all 3 of those, who are from Africa, have advocated, for example, for the idea of reparations for colonialism and slavery. So these ideas are still live, but debates around the monarchy and colonialism can be in the Pacific a little bit more muted than you might find in places in the Caribbean, for example, or in Africa. So our expectation is that it may not dominate the agenda in the way it might elsewhere. Many Commonwealth nations are developing nations, and it includes a host of both Pacific and Caribbean nations. They face a really similar set of challenges, not just the threat of climate change, but the fact that it remains far too difficult to actually get a hold of money, including from multilateral institutions, to deal with that impact. So I think that will absolutely be at the top of the agenda. And it's not just climate change. We're expecting leaders also to issue an oceans declaration that really emphasises the critical importance of ocean health in not just stabilising the climate, but towards stabilising environmental degradation more broadly. Now, this is multilateralism, so it's long, slow and sometimes painstaking work, but the Commonwealth Secretariat and others say that they believe this could be a real spur to action.
Meantime, the royal tour began in Sydney, with the royals making their first public appearance at the St. Thomas's Anglican Church. Some who attended were fulfilling a lifelong dream, and others finally got to meet their pen pal, the King.
Family, Billy was lucky enough to receive a letter in response to one he wrote to the King a little while ago.
And what an opportunity. I'll never see the King of England or the Queen of England again, or Great Britain, so here I am.
I've seen him before and I've got letters from him. I sent him a card when his mother died and he sent me a card back.
When he first came from his car, he came in through like over there, and all the kids were behind like a barrier, and he was asking us if we were like learning about the Bible, and we were getting tested about the Bible.
Really see them because my dad and my mother have to dream to see them, but they are passed away now. I have to dream to see them and have to say them hello. And
I actually had a handshake with both King Charles and Queen Camilla, which was very exciting, very exciting. They were both very humble, you know, told them that we were delighted to see them.
Got to shake their hands. It was such an amazing experience. It was just absolutely wonderful.
When I realised that the King and Queen were just in my neighbourhood, I couldn't resist coming down to see them.
I welcome them to Sydney, and I wish the King all the very best for his cancer treatment. And he said, thank you very much, I really appreciate your wishes.
G'day, you've actually greetings from Tasmania.
Carbon credits are supposed to offset emissions released into the atmosphere. Alan Colner takes a look at what the data says about how they are working.
2 trillion tonnes of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, normally expressed as parts per million. That's about 700 billion tonnes more than 200 years ago, and that's what's dangerously heating the planet. And this is roughly what a tonne of carbon dioxide looks like. Now, one way we're dealing with this problem is by paying people to get it out of the atmosphere. And the system for achieving that is by giving them a certificate for every tonne of CO2 that they're responsible for removing, and they can sell that on the market. These are also called offsets.
Right now you can get $37 for one of those certificates on the Australian market.
That transaction is really the basis of Australia's plan to reduce carbon dioxide emissions to 43% of 2005 levels by 2030 and net zero by 2050.
The companies that do most of the emitting are supposed to reduce their emissions, but they can't. So they're allowed to buy those offsets instead. Most of them come from something called human-induced regeneration, which means land management to help native forests regrow and soak up carbon dioxide, as long as they wouldn't have grown anyway.
But some researchers at ANU and the University of New South Wales have published the following graph in a paper debunking the whole system.
The vertical green bar is when 75% of the human-induced regeneration projects were registered. The line is the amount of forest cover in the areas covered by the scheme. It's increased, so some carbon dioxide is out of the atmosphere, but not much. And anyway, it was increasing before the humans that are inducing the regeneration started earning their certificates.
In fact, there's a global controversy about the integrity of offsets. Someone in the United States has just been charged with fraud for selling fake offsets. It's an argument that's not going to go away, and it's central to the whole project of dealing with climate change. Maybe we'll just have to, I don't know, reduce emissions.
A treatment for spinal cord injuries have so far eluded medical researchers. Now, Australian scientists are embarking on a landmark clinical trial using unique nasal cells. They hope it will one day help transform the lives of patients.
Pernew was a talented rugby league player with a bright future.
All the way, Joe!
Known as Big Joe, the teenager had been signed by the Titans, but last year his life changed in an instant.
I was playing footy and collided with a goalpost, so yeah.
His spinal cord was severed, the catastrophic injury keeping him in hospital for 11 months.
Getting the news that I may not be able to move or walk again, it's obviously the greatest news to hear.
The now 18-year-old came home just in time for his school formal. He's patiently working to regain some function.
Nice, brother.
It's individuals like Joe these Queensland scientists want to help. Decades of groundwork has led to a Phase 1 clinical trial. They're using a patient's own olfactory cells to grow nerve bridges, which are transplanted into their injured spinal cord.
The olfactory and sheathing cells have very special properties. The olfactory nerve is the only nerve in our body that regenerates every day as part of its normal function.
Alongside physical rehabilitation, it's hoped the therapy will improve sensory, motor, bowel and bladder function.
It gives them more independence, less carer support, and they can get back to jobs or to education or to get out into the community more easily.
It can seem small, but for us it means the world and can make a major difference in our lives.
30 participants will be recruited from Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. Some people have even moved here from overseas in the hope they'll be accepted. While the trial is only in its infancy and will need more funding, it's a cause for optimism.
Baby steps.
Qantas has been ordered to pay compensation of up to $100,000 to workers who were made redundant during the COVID pandemic.
He dealt with 3 test cases for compensation, and for each he's now awarded $30,000, $40,000 and $100,000. Each test case deals with unique circumstances regarding how the individual was able to respond in terms of finding employment, as well as the mental and personal anguish taken on as a result of these now illegal sackings by Qantas in 2020. It was 1,700 workers who were given the boot when Qantas sought to outsource baggage handling and crew checks on the ground across 10 airports in Australia back in 2020. Now, after several fights in both the Federal and High Court, they've been ordered to pay out these compensation figures. However, the total amount they need to pay out is not entirely clear. That will require negotiation between the Transport Workers Union, who represented the sacked workers in this case, as well as Qantas, to determine where workers sit across these 3 different types of compensation payouts. The union says they're hoping Qantas negotiates in good faith and that the court has sent a message that these sackings were not only illegal but will face significant financial punishment.
And today is finally the day of justice after over 4 years, after having to go now to 4 different courts, including the highest court in the land, which unanimously, of course, found that Qantas acted illegally in sacking these 1,700 workers. Well, guess what? Today is your day. And importantly, the federal court has today sent a powerful message to corporate Australia that if you engage in this sort of behaviour, you will be held to account.
Alongside lawyers and the Transport Workers Union were some of the workers impacted. Don Dixon spoke of the personal toll on his and colleagues' life after they were let go by Qantas in 2020.
So many families struggled in this campaign. Losing your job as quickly and as brutally as it was a horrible thing. We thought we were there for the rest of our lives.
While the Transport Workers Union estimates the total cost for this compensation payout could be in excess of $100 million, the reality is the pain for Qantas doesn't end here. We also will see them face a separate penalty. This will be for breaking the law and not be paid out to workers in the form of compensation. So the total bill still yet to be known. Mediation is set between the two parties in November and the matter will return to the federal court. Beforehand, though, Qantas has its annual general meeting in Hobart this Friday, where it's expected they will be not only speaking to shareholders but also reacting to this judgment.
And that ends the news segment. Later in sports with Tracy, PNG embraces beach soccer and chess goes to the streets.
Rugby League is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you walk him, I'm a community. You must all block community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Bro, it's awesome, man. That's the promotion.
I'm so excited.
Let's go, let's go.
And
Best different match.
Best different match.
And how do you win this?
2 plus Pepsi, that's all.
2 cans, bro.
2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win
this box of match.
It's crazy cool. My God. Pair of headphones. It's a towel.
How about that? Cool box.
Yeah!
Discover your home away from home at the Sidla Bay Hotel in Lorengau, Manus Province. Whether business or leisure, our modern amenities, delicious local cuisine, and serene surroundings will make you feel right at home. Book your stay now. Call 7496-3232 or email reservations@sidlabayhotel.com.pg. Sidla Bay Hotel, where your Manus adventure begins.
We're ready to go.
Commonwealth Petroleum is a major regional petroleum industry player involved in large-scale upstream, midstream and downstream petroleum and energy developments in the country. We are committed to ensuring that Papua New Guineans maximize benefits from the petroleum and energy sector.
Welcome back. Papua New Guinea is embracing beach soccer for the first time. It has joined defending champions Tahiti, Fiji and host Solomon Islands in Honiara for the OFC Beach Soccer Men's Nations Cup this week. It's a remarkable achievement for Papua New Guinea to be in Honiara, with beach soccer only really starting in the country early last year on Fisherman Island, which lies off the coast of Port Moresby. PNG's 12-strong squad all hail from the Moikele Football Association on Fisherman Island. Despite its infancy in PNG, the sport has swiftly gained traction with regular competition and leagues emerging. The squad is relatively youthful, and PNG Beach Soccer Development Officer Tonga Isira is under no illusion as to the challenge Papua New Guinea will face being the new kid on the block. PNG plays Fiji in the opening match on Tuesday and promises to be a momentous occasion. KOPR 8 mixed futsal competition has attracted 19 teams to the pitch on Saturday at the Tauranga Aquatic Centre Port Moresby. The two-weekend futsal competitions saw corporate teams getting together to socialize and network while promoting their organization at the event.
Running for the 9th year, the COP R8 Mixed Futsal Championship over the weekend brought together people from various corporate organizations to the pitch for a game of futsal. Teams have been divided into 2 pools, with each team expected to play 8 matches, before the top 4 teams in each pool proceed into finals football for the bragging rights as COP R8 Mixed Champions Season 9 winners. COP R8 Mixed Championship official Ruben Agovai highlighted that the event is crucial for the working population who spent most of their time at work. With futsal, they get the opportunity to network with fellow colleagues and those in other organizations and build network. Apart from this, the tournament also provides an avenue for corporate bodies to promote their brand.
There's 2 things to it. One is the physical and fitness aspect of the events, and the other one is the networking and also the brand marketing. And of course, we have DSP here. DSP are here with the products for SMS and internet banking and other products that they have. And then we have Jax here too with the products. So it's twofold. One is for physical fitness, and the other is so that the organizations can come and do networking and marketing of their products to other professionals in other organizations.
Digicel PNG has registered 2 teams in the competition. Both teams continue to do well in the competition. Each team has paid a participation fee or a registration of 1,000 kina. At the conclusion of the games, grand finalists will be awarded prizes. Those who lose out on the finals still have chance of being rewarded. The tournament ends next Saturday with the grand final. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
The Indahood Chess Club in Garahu is taking the game to the streets of Garahu for the first time in the hope of enticing interested individuals to come out and participate. On its first day out on Sunday, the program attracted both young and senior chess players to the venue.
Chess has long been in the country, but not too many people are involved. With just a few organized tournaments by the PNG Chess Federation, Indahood Chess Club is taking the board game to the streets in the hope of drawing public interest, just like any other sport. A senior representative of Indahood Chess Club, Dewa William Mangabi, said they started this chess program on the street he resides at in the Garahu suburb. They play it as a family activity, and the interest grew from there as more people got involved. Having formed the Indahood Chess program to gain interest from members of the public, new players have come on board to have a go at chess, including those who have never played before. Mangabi said the program includes teaching the newbies, both young and old, how to play chess, and this takes place Sundays. On the first day of bringing the game to the public, the chess program attracted a reasonable number of people, and as the time goes by, the interest is expected to grow. Indahood Chess Club aims to use the sport as a tool to promote intellectual development, strategic and rational thinking. Because chess involves a lot of critical thinking, the sport allows the players to be strategic and to think smart before making the next move. The program continues next weekend at Garahu and will be coincide with a fundraiser to help Indahood Chess Club register with the PNG Chess Federation and provide players with an opportunity to play chess outside the comfort of their homes and their neighborhood. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
Former New South Wales Blues coach Brad Fittler has praised PNG Kumul's for acquiring the service of former South Sydney Rabbitohs mentor Jason Demetriou, saying his qualification and decent coaching track record fit the bill. Fittler is confident Demetriou will do a great job not only to elevate the Commonwealth to another level, but also help boost the junior pathway.
Speaking in Port Moresby during the recent PM's 13 match weekend between Australia and PNG, Brad Fittler said the former South Sydney man has the passion and instinct to make the Commonwealth stay competitive and consistent at the international level ahead of the 2026 Rugby League World Cup. His other focus is emphasizing player development pathways through the PNG NRL Bid Academy programs in the youth and school systems. Demetriou's coaching resume and experience are not only at the South Sydney Rabbitohs, but across different levels of the game, both QRL and NRL, and would be of great benefit to the development of the game in the country.
Well, Jason's coached a lot, not just at the South Sydney level, but all different levels, up in Queensland and down the south coast of Australia. So he knows what it's like to come into a new area and understand what they're about. I think he already realises how passionate they are about their football. So it's about enhancing that. The pathway system's something that Jason's really interested in trying to improve. So not only is he trying to work on the senior team, it's about dealing with that, but also then making sure there's really good players coming through that are ready and fit when the time comes. So it's a big job, and he's got some good assistants here. I think they need to do a lot of work. There needs to be a lot of stuff done from underneath and make sure that the quality from the youth and through the school system is strong and they come through prepared. But once you do that, once you get it prepared and you get enough numbers to create pressure, then you get a good result. So that's all they've got to do. And if you can do that by bringing some foreigners back, like some Australians in, just to make that work a little bit quicker, then I definitely think they can hold an NRL team.
Fittler said the Queensland competition is tough, which is doing the Hunters a lot of good. On the PNG NRL bid, Fittler said PNG needs a lot of work from underneath to make sure the quality from the youth through the school system so they can come through prepared. Realistically, Fittler is of the view that bringing in Australian players with NRL experience would certainly make the bid work a little bit quicker for PNG. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
A youthful National Capital District Commission outfit shocked Big Guns Funeral Home Laumas 18-12 in Pool B of sports events Corporate Nines Rugby League Round 2 at the St. John Guy Stadium on Saturday. NCDC capitalized on their speed and skills to set the pace against their opponents. NCDC was solid in defense, which proved them a better side.
While taking nothing away from NCD, who were the better side on the night, Laumas coach Peter Popal said the loss was a wake-up call for his boys, which should help them regroup and get their campaign back on track. Popal said a bit of inexperience in their lineup, who were desperate to play but lacked composure and control, especially coming off the bench, did not help their cause. Laumas committed too many silly errors that allowed NCDC to capitalize and score points. In the other results, it was deadlock 0 between Spidertech and Carre Consulting. A Carre Consulting try was disallowed by the match officials due to 10 players on the field of play when the 4-pointer was scored. AES were too strong for National Procurement Commission, beating them with a 26-8 scoreline. In a close affair, Scale edged out Internal Revenue Commission 6-4. In the Pool A results, the Department of Finance, Coble, beat My Bank 14-10, and TISA denied Bank of South Pacific 24 points to 14. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Nene McDonald is the fittest he has ever been and is open to the offers to return to NRL. McDonald, who plays for Salford, credits a lifestyle change for his stunning form in the Super League this season and for PNG in Saturday night's 22-10 win over Fiji.
After his man-of-the-match performance against the Buddy, McDonald has declared he is keen to return to the NRL after 3 seasons in England. According to NRL.com, McDonald said if anyone needs him, he is ready. While he's very happy at Salford as well, but everyone wants to play NRL. That's the top competition, he said. The PNG-born back played 98 NRL matches for the Roosters, Titans, Dragons, Cowboys and Sharks before heading to the Super League in 2022. After stints with Lee and Leeds, McDonald has enjoyed his best season this year with Salford, and it was noticeable how fit he is in PNG's opening Pacific Championships match in Fiji. Looking back, McDonald started playing in NRL pretty young, but his professionalism wasn't at his best and thinks his talent allowed him to get away with it. McDonald hadn't played fullback since juniors, but new Kumul coach Jason Demetrio was impressed after seeing him at training for the first time last Wednesday and asked if he would wear the #1 jersey. Playing his 17th test, McDonald said wearing the PNG jersey always inspired him to perform his best, and he scored a try, produced a try assist, 2 line breaks, 11 tackle breaks and 5 offloads while running 277 meters with the ball. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's it for sports, and now the weather focused with Rex.
In regional forecast, Southern but mostly cloudy with inland showers and possible thunderstorm. Daru mostly fine. Kerema mostly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Alatau few afternoon rain drizzles easing to partly cloudy, and Popondetta partly cloudy with some afternoon rain showers. Momase lay partly cloudy with chances of few afternoon rain showers. Madang cloudy with periods of some rain drizzles at times. Wewak cloudy with periods of rain showers and possible thunderstorm, and Vanimo cloudy periods with chances of showers, rain drizzles. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau cloudy periods with rain. Kavieng mostly fine with some rain. Kokopo Rabaul rain showers and possible thunderstorm in the afternoon. Himbe some rain with possible thunderstorm in the afternoon, and Buka mostly cloudy with periods of rain showers. And Highlands, Mount Hagen some afternoon rain showers. Garoka Bands and Hundiawa periods of rain. Manditari and Wabeg periods of rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of Finschhafen through Vitia Strait to Siasi Long Island, seas 0.5 to 2 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, New Guinea Island to East New Britain to Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1 meters. And waters of West New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, seas slight to moderate with east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, seas slight to moderate with east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots, tending clockwise. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth to slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with southeast to northeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. And that wraps up the news tonight. From the news team, pleasant viewing by now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.